1998. Whoa. This is from 19. I never played with this ball. That's
Mhm.
probably why it's in mint condition.
Maybe check and see how the quality of the recording was afterwards, once all the files are all.
Y'all ready for this? Today, we got a game of a podcast to talk to you about, and it's going to be epic. Kellogg's, not sponsored. Yeah, so we're going to talk about some NBA stars that we grew up with that have been in movies back in the 90s and have been in here and there since then, pretty much, and on television. Not much about television, but mostly the movies. I'm
And A
your
card thinks
host.
I'm gonna keep it to just NBA, but I'm gonna talk about some wrestling fucking movie
Oh,
stars as
you
well.
know what that is true. It'll be mostly NBA, but yes, that is true. It's going to be sports people as well tossed in
I
there.
mean, I'm not gonna be like, Derek Jeter's one random cameo. Like, we're not doing that crap, but like significant stuff.
I was thinking of that in anger management. Goose Fraba.
Like,
Goose
oh,
Fraba. The little Adam Sandler. I can't help you got to do it when you talk about Adam Sandler. Well, I'm your host, A-Card, and this, oh damn it, this guy over here.
Hey, there you go. That's right. I'm. Oh my gosh, you made me laugh so much. I messed up my little intro. This is Airflow. Welcome to the Arguably Awesome podcast.
Were you going to say Airflow Gaming?
Yeah, well, I just almost, but I don't really do the whole like gaming thing when I'm just in the podcast. I just drop the.
Hey, advertise it, man.
More like Airflow talking, But
Airflow
yes,
talking.
if
Hey, you could have your a new channel where it's just Airflow Talks.
I was gonna say, if you got the little advertisement, trying.
We need to plug your mom. Oh, that sounds weird. We need to plug your mom's business.
There you go. Yeah, now you thought it through. Yeah.
Doris, don't watch it.
I mean, are you talking about like this?
Oh, it says Airflow, and there's our logo on it.
Yeah, check out that bad boy.
Dude, perfect. Is that a glass straw in there?
No, it's a middle straw.
Oh, a stainless steel. I was like, dang, you're getting fancy now.
When she first started with the creative outlet, it was more of like mask, t-shirts, things like that. Now, if you're looking for licensed gear, like how I downloaded that Google image and had her put it on a cup, that's not really technically something legally she can make a profit from. But if you have some sort of custom design
Yeah.
that you would want to do, we don't
Wanna show off
necessarily have a
some at work.
link for it. So you would have to reach out to, basically reach out to us through. I mean, I don't know. I guess through the Instagram or like, reach out through.
Or our email. We never plugged our email
I don't
for
know.
business
I'm
inquiries.
trying to get. Well, I mean, if people are really looking that hard, I mean, they can find it. Like it's on the.
Yeah, you could reach to us through Instagram or A-Card and Airflow Podcast at gmail.com. And if that doesn't work, then it's A-Card and Airflow Podcast 2022 at gmail.com. There's so many.
I'm pretty sure it was the first one.
There's so many usernames and passwords. I am trying to keep everything together. Oh man. Well, I mean, we could start out with how the hell do I know who Michael Jordan is? I mean, who doesn't know who Michael Jordan is? Let's just talk about him from the get-go, just because this is also sports related.
Also,
To
Michael,
say,
if you end up catching that meme clip, hope you don't mind me using that Porky Pig Michael Jordan mashup to make fun of A-Card in the last video.
what? I guess I don't remember that part.
And there's a part where you're
What?
stumbling over your words, and I popped it up.
Okay, I need to rewatch that. Okay. Anyway, to say he's the greatest of all time, that's an understatement. To say he's, as they call it, the GOAT. It is true. Nobody that I know of, even King James, I mean, I think King's a little bit high of a name to be giving somebody. But if anyone's the king of rock and roll, it's Elvis. The king of pop was Michael Jackson. I had to think about that. That's sad. The queen of pop, Mariah Carey. And the king of the basketball court is Michael Jordan. I mean, he's done so many wins, so many rings, so many it's trophies for the game.
Breaking records, breaking people's minds, breaking hearts.
I know, and breaking the hoop. It shattered the glass. Yeah, I love that is such a classic and iconic piece of, I don't know what you want to say, imagery, but of history in basketball. I think he was the first one to do that. He was really feeling that. He was like, I'm gonna slam dunk this motherfucker, and it's going in there. Boosh.
Yeah, stuff that ball right in that fucking shit, man. For real.
But yeah, there have been other players. I forgot the name of the thing because sometimes I watch some sports stuff. I'm not really a major sports guy, but I watch some Blazer stuff for sure and some Mariners. But
I love the Blazers, man. Oh man, I almost forgot about the Mariners there for a minute. I haven't.
No, that game's so good.
Well, I wasn't super big into baseball.
I mean, there was a basketball player that's done more in a way than Michael Jordan, but as far as, because I don't want to talk too much about it because I could totally be wrong, but I heard something about this from Aries Spears or from Michael Rappaport. It was one of those two, or some other guy from ESPN. But as far as tactics and winning, it was Michael Jordan. He's still number one, and he retired when in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, if you really want to get a glimpse at Michael and the whole golden age of the 90s, you got to watch The Last Dance on Netflix. It's like a 4 or 5, maybe even a 6-part documentary. It's mind-blowing. I mean, I'm not even a basketball guy, but still, just to watch it, it's Michael Jordan. You got to watch it. Other than that, he has done a lot, and it really explains what he's doing after, but he is that iconic slam dunk, with the red, white, and blue logo. He's the guy that's doing the slam dunk through. That's the logo of the NBA logo. And he's a big sponsor of Nike. And Nike, is from here in Oregon. Columbia Sportswear. What's that other outdoor place? I can't remember right now. But yeah, Simpsons are from here. I mean, Michael Jordan's not from here. I mean, obviously, Chicago Bulls. Watch the documentary. Yeah, I don't need to explain Michael D. Y'all know who MJ is. We got Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan. Two greats, for sure. But yeah, side note, this is my little Kellogg's ball from 1988. 1998, I'm not that old. I'm 89, baby. We got the Kellogg's Tony the Tiger. It's part of the game, Kellogg's. We got the Rice Krispie Treat kids. We got the Rooster from Corn Flakes. We got Diggums the Frog. Oh, man. That was a green screen. And we got Toucan Sam. Who else do we have? Is that it? That's all of them. It was just, I don't know what it was a part of, but I can't do it. Ah! It's too small to balance. Anyway, that was a cool thing I got back in the late 90s. I still have it today. But yeah, the first time. Oh, I'm just talking about my my basketball after talking about Michael Jordan for like forever. My first sports movie I ever watched was definitely Space Jam. Michael Jordan, the Looney Tunes cast. What was your introduction to sports, Eric? How did you... Oh, I'm guessing Michael Jordan.
I mean, back in the day, like being a 90s kid, Sports Jams was Sports Jams. Wow.
Pretty much.
Where my mind's at. Sports, everything sports. No, Space Jam was definitely like one of the first like sports star led like movies that you could. I mean that or like Kazam with Shaquille O'Neal, but I feel like the Shaquille O'Neal one maybe came later after they saw the success that like a movie with sports, led.
What
cast.
movie was it called?
It was Kazam is the one with Shaquille O'Neal, right?
I get it confused too. Shazam, Kazam.
But Shazam is DC.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
You never have gotten confused. You accidentally say Shazam. I have before. And I'm like, oh, Kazam. I am.
Oh,
Kazam!
you're gonna feel so bad when I pull this up on the screen share. Oh boy. I had to, because when you said that, I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all. But unfortunately for you, my friend, it is Kazam, 1996 fantasy comedy.
Well, yeah, I know it's Kazam, but I mean, haven't you ever said Shazam on accident because you just mumble it like?
Oh yeah, but not this time.
Fumbled. I mean, wouldn't you love to see junk food raining from the sky? That's like my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Junk food raining from the sky. Well, yeah, that was pretty.
That's
good.
it. A candy bar? Then. So yeah, what was your introduction to sports? Like,
what, like sports in general? Or are you talking about?
Like how did you get? I don't know how to ask it. I mean, how did you? Who was the first iconic sports figure you heard of?
Oh, for me? Personally, as a kid, I used to read a lot of autobiographies about famous by people in general. Like back as a kid, I was reading books about like Colin Powell or like the other famous surgeon. But one of my first and foremost, like all-time sports heroes would be Jackie Robinson, the Brooklyn Dodgers. Back when he was trying to break out from playing in what they called the Negro Leagues back in the day, the only leagues that blacks could play baseball at the time, and they allowed them to try and break into the major leagues. People like Babe Ruth and all those old greats, and he had such a struggle, but I admire his tenacity and his fight to try and like break that gap, and I just growing up reading those kind of stories was really impressive to me. Or like the stories of like Muhammad Ali, great, the greatest of all time. Like we were talking about goats, man. That's a goat right there. Ooh. That was a
little bit hot.
Chicken and cilantro lime.
Muhammad Ali definitely is the greatest. He's flutter like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I still never saw that remake in 2000. What was it, 2003 or 4? I think it was 2003. Ali.
Will Smith one.
Yeah, then a couple years later, like 3 years later in 2005, Ray came out with Jamie Foxx. I almost said Jamie Lee Fox. No, Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis was playing Ray Charles.
I like that, mashup.
Right?
Now you make me want to Photoshop Jamie Lee Curtis as Ray Charles.
Oh my god. That's something she'd be due probably in the 80s. 80s movies. She was in some weird funny ones. Especially with the Monty Python cast. She was in one in the 80s and one in A Fish Called Wanda, and one where John Cleese and some of the Monty Python cast owned a zoo. I don't think it did very well, but it was an interesting movie. And the same cast from that Wanda, A Fish Called Wanda, was in that one. It was weird. Kevin Kline. But that's not sports. That's neither here or there. But that's a little fun fact information you get on the show. Yeah. I would say
so
the next
answer Acard's convoluted question. Those are two of my favorite like heroes that got me introduced into sports and maybe even care.
Yeah.
And then afterward you got like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, you got I'll even say Dennis Rodman with his crazy ass, which I'll definitely be talking about him later.
Yeah, I wonder how it was hooking up with Carmen Electra. She was a babe back in the day. I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was hot. But,
well, never mind. But yes, babe.
I mean, nowadays, that might beg to differ. With plastic surgery, these people do not look the same. It's unfortunately. Last time I saw Carmen Electra in a movie, she was in Scary Movie 3 in the beginning, having a pillow fight with one of the Playboy Playhouse TV show chicks. She was hot in that still. At that age, that's when she was in her prime. I think in her 30s. And then she was in the Scary Movie 4, where she was in the town based on the Village movie with Bill Pullman and all that.
Yep.
She's a babe in that one too. That was kind of a random cameo. I was like, what? But nowadays, man, people are just changing so fast. It's like, ooh. Anyway, I'd say the next big one for me was Shaquille O'Neal, because I remember seeing Space Jam in the theater in '95. I went with my dad, eating some theater candy. I mean, he had Bill Murray, Michael Jordan, the Looney Tunes cast. At the time when I saw it, I was like, oh, it's a Looney Tunes movie with Michael Jordan. I didn't think anything of it. back then it wasn't like hyped and all that. I mean, the only thing it was hyped was like Michael Jordan in a new movie, and I'm like, it was his first debut in a movie, and the only movie I ever saw him in after that was like Mike, in 2002. But Shaquille O'Neal's Kazam, that's a legendary movie. I don't think it was a Disney movie though, but I'd seen it on the Disney Channel. I think they showed it on the Disney Channel back in the late 90s. I love that movie, by the way, Kazam. Kazam. But yeah.
I bet you do.
Fun fact, that evil Arab guy, I actually don't know if he's Arab, but the one who tries to steal Kazam in that big boombox, he has a small role in Don't Mess with the Zohan with Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I haven't seen that guy in years.
Looks like
It
it's
looks
a
the
Touchstone
same.
Pictures film. Wow, of course.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? Because I think Disney owns Touchstone. It's like a syndicate because Nightmare Before Christmas is also Touchstone, but Disney has Nightmare Before Christmas at their theme parks, in the Kingdom Hearts series, which I was like, is Nightmare Before Christmas Disney? Because I saw it in Kingdom Hearts. That's when I first noticed. I was like thinking about that back in 2002, and I looked it up, and they helped produce the music with Danny Elfman. So there you go. That's why they show it on the Disney Channel.
And that's about as sports related as you're gonna get on this podcast episode. So there you go.
The end. Bye.
No, I definitely love me some Kazam. I love that people like Mandela affected it. That they claim that it's Mandela effect, that they couldn't remember that it's not Shazam.
Right. I'm interested. You told me about this in the late 90s or early 2010s. I think it was late 90s. You told me about this movie with Dane Cook and Dennis Rodman. Never heard of it. Looked it up. It's from 1999. And it's based off of one of our favorite childhood little games we played, too. But totally different.
But you know the one. Okay, good. Have you seen the movie?
I still have not. I tried to find it on YouTube for free. Some idiot would probably upload it. Maybe now I can actually watch. Maybe somebody did recently. Sometimes they last up there, and then they get taken down for copyright if you're lucky enough to watch it. So you want to talk about it? It's a good listen.
No, I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's actually exactly what I wanted to bring up as far as like the movie. Oh, I forgot he was in that too. But Dennis Rodman.
Oh, were you looking at the Jean-Claude Van Damme double team?
No, I didn't. I mean, I did
okay.
see that, but I was talking about something else. Here, I'm just gonna go ahead and share this tab. So right now, I've got a little bit of a filmography here.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that too.
And I love that he is in the movie Baps in 1997. Totally forgot about that.
Is that where two guys play women, or is that actual two women?
I want to say should be two women.
Because I remember Jamie Foxx played a woman with that other guy from
Oh, I think this. Hold on, is it pulling it up? There's Bernie Mac. Let's see. So no, I don't think this is one of the ones where it is two women, because one of them is literally Halle Berry.
Oh, she's a fucking babe. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, she's a fox.
When I saw her in that movie
Oh, don't.
with Billy Bob Thornton.
Yep, I knew you were gonna say it.
You know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I was like, God, I'm not gonna mention it on the podcast, but you know, if you know, you know. I was like, God damn. I was like,
But I
getting
mean,
some
Billy
dirty
Bob. I was
thoughts.
like, oh, gross.
See, you like how he cut me off because I'm getting inappropriate on this.
No, you can get inappropriate. I just wish it wasn't Billy Bob. You know?
I mean, I don't. Just in case we have somebody from that movie watching this, I just want to be appropriate. But
Yeah,
God
but I
damn,
heard she
she's
doesn't miss a
fine.
black guy. So, well, and plus she's married, so
Eh.
it's what it is. Oh wow! So we got another movie coming out in 2022 called Good Morning that Dennis Rodman was recently in. Or
Is that
in.
Machine Gun Kelly?
Yes, that's exactly what that is. Wow, never knew that was. Oh wow, it's got 1.5 stars. Must not be that great. Oh wait, they dragged Megan Fox into it. Oh my gosh, they dragged a lot of people into this.
I seen her in a movie recently where she tries to go after her husband for lying, and she almost dies. And you guys got to look up Megan Fox last year movie or this year movie. That's all I'm gonna say. Great movie.
But Simon Says is the one, man. You got
Yeah,
Jane
Simon
Cook,
Says.
Dennis Rodman. You got Emma Wickland, and like it's.
Oh,
this
John
convoluted-
Panay. Rest
Mhm.
in peace. He was
Oh,
he
rest
was a
in
great
peace.
comedian. I loved him.
Oh wow, it's even got Flip Nickel looking at. But basically, it's he plays a character named Simon, and he's like this international super spy. Like women love him, men want to be him, his enemies hate him, but you can't stop him. He's just like that ultimate James Bond, like Black James Bond type character, which I guess he was probably thinking he could do after doing Double Team. I totally forgot about that.
Never seen that. I've never seen either film.
It's got Mickey Rourke in it, man. It's got
Oh, what?
Yeah, dude.
I love Mickey Rourke.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about this guy.
Paul Freeman.
Yeah, and Paul Freeman. Nice. He's a character named Gord Smythe. But yeah, no, I think that Dennis Rodman had some pretty sick movie roles. Personally, Simon Says is probably like my favorite, to be honest with you. Just because of like the over-the-top ridiculousness, but they pulled it off with the kind of like cheesy gloss, like Blade, like Wesley Snipes and Blade. It kind of gave me that feel. So that's why I think it personally like was a cult kind of success thing.
Was Dane Cook as big as he is now back then? I thought he came out in the early 2000s. Or
Yeah, no, not necessarily. I mean, he had like some stuff at I want to say he had some like Comedy Central Presents type things and like a few other smaller like comedy gigs, but before then I don't think he was really blowing up the scene as far as movies were concerned.
Remember that movie where he got murdered?
I don't.
2007, Mr. Brooks, Kevin Costner film. Mr. Brooks
never
wants
seen
to
that
not be a murderer anymore and do these things behind his family's back. So he hires a guy to kill him, which is Dane Cook, who catches him in the act of doing something, who's a photographer or something for, I don't know. He's a photographer. But then when Dane Cook's too chicken shit to do this, but at the end he's like ready to do it. He's like, if you don't do it, I'm going to kill you. He's like, fine. But then at the end he gets fucked over. He's like, you know what, Dane? I changed my mind. But I need to tie up loose ends. And Dane Cook's like, oh, I don't understand. So Kevin Costner pre-dug a grave in a cemetery, used the shovel and whacked him in the head, and then slit his throat with the shovel. And I'm like, Dane Cook getting murdered? I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. Great
So
film.
you just weren't expecting such a dark ending for the poor lad.
Yeah. I recommend the movie. It takes place in Portland, but it was not filmed in Portland. Ironic part. You just see a license plate that says Oregon on it. But great film. Great film. But Dane Cook, I think he's a great actor. I follow him on social media. I follow Dennis Rodman. Speaking of Dennis Rodman, did you ever see that Dennis Rodman documentary called The Big Bang in Pyongyang, where he goes to North Korea to see Kim Jong-un?
It was in the list of film credits and stuff like that. No, I've never seen it personally.
Apparently, he's good friends with the North Korean leader. I don't know.
I remember
in
when
the
that
documentary.
article broke. I remember when like a lot of people were upset about that.
But I think it's just basketball friendship.
It's
because
probably something like that because they've got some talented players.
I don't know where I watched it. I think it might have been Netflix. Y'all need to watch The Big Bang in Pyongyang. It's an interesting documentary. He goes there. Obviously, Kim Jong-un knows who he is, but I don't think the rest of the people do because they're not allowed to have the internet.
Well, I mean, DuckDuckGo or other third party like around the internet.
The government watches the web browsers on all their citizens. So having a Nintendo back then could get you arrested or killed. Just saying. Read the book. Oh. It's by Yeonmi Park. In Order to Live by Yeonmi Park, to get an idea of what it's like to live in North Korea and escape it. Good read. But still, Dennis Rodman, I love him. I love his crazy hair. I love his craziness. He dated Carmen Electra. He dated some other girls. Yeah. Who else do we got? Shaquille O'Neal was in another movie that I heard was horrible called Steel, where he's like a superhero, or he wants to be like a superhero.
Like DC universe type of thing, but basically.
Oh, forgotten DC film.
Yeah, I mean, here. let me just stop myself because I'm sure I'm getting it confused. There's a character named John Henry Irons, which is based off of, I believe, the historical black figure who helped build the railroads. But he
Sledgehammer Man from
yeah,
American Tail or something, whatever that Disney movie was with Patrick Swayze.
But his DC universe counterpart is one of the stand-ins for Superman when he gets killed by Doomsday. And he's got this crazy ass metallic suit that gives him like the ability to fight, kind of like Iron Man. He flies around with a cape and shit, the big ass, sledgehammer. But Steel kind of reminds me exactly of that character, just played by Shaq.
Okay, let me see. I think I have it right here. Steel, Shaq Steel. I mean, he's always gonna be Shaq.
Wow, I have not seen that
Shaquille
shit so
O'Neal.
long. Look at that shit.
I know. I've never seen the movie. I've just heard about it, and I might have seen the trailer back in '97. And here's a little preview if you want to download it legally and make a VHS copy.
Un hero le. What does that say? I can't read that. It's another language.
Wait,
there.
where are you reading that?
Underneath. Steel.
Oh my gosh! Of course, it would be from another country if you want to get that nice box look. Oh my gosh! And then we have the punk kid from Breakfast Club, who's the villain.
Yeah, dude, it's Judd Nelson, dude.
I like Judd Nelson when he played a murderer in the late '90s in a film. You guys have to look Judd Nelson up, and you'll know what movie I'm talking about. He's like a murderer, got this woman in a tank, and it was weird cabin killer movie.
Oh, that was a weird one. I liked him better in New Jack City with Ice-T.
Oh, New Jack City. I still have not seen that, but I heard some good things. I heard there's going to be a sequel. I could be wrong.
New Jack City? That'd be wild.
Have you ever seen this? The Celtics, the Boston Celtics. Can you see the screen?
No, yeah, I don't think you've shared it yet.
Oh, yeah, because I was just sharing one particular screen, so I'm not sharing the whole, our whole thing. I have this. It's with, where is it? Oh, there it is. It's with Dan Aykroyd, Daniel Stern, who played one of the Wet Bandits or Sticky Bandits. It depends on what movie you liked of Home Alone. They kidnapped one of the Boston Celtics. Yeah, with Damon Wayans. Sorry. They kidnap. They're huge Celtic fans. They want the Celtics. No.
They kidnapped the opposite team. They captured.
Yeah. There you go. You're
player,
right. Yes, that's what I'm trying to. I forgot if they were pretending to root for the Celtics, but I remember they're huge Celtic fans. They capture the other team to make it like good luck. It's bad juju. We need to rob them to win, and they end up bonding with this guy.
The freaking guy from from Home Alone.
I love Daniel Stern. He was great in '90s films, comedy films. Bushwhacked. I
forgot about.
Wait, was it Bushwhacked? I forgot it was. Yeah, it was Bushwhacked. Hard DVD to find apparently, but I got it. Didn't like spending money on it, but.
And it is what it is, pal.
It is what it is.
You spend the money,
Now you got this guy over here. You got Gilbert Gottfried, the younger version. it's the young sounding one. But I mean, Whoopi Goldberg was in a sports movie too. I never watched it. I just saw it through Google, but I remember hearing about it. But yeah, there are Boston Celtic actual NBA players in this movie. So I mean, this kind of counts. It's a good comedy film. They end up being friends in the end in a weird way.
End up being friends. I like that. That's a pretty inspiring story. I used to be friends with people too, and now I keep my circle real small, real tight like a tight butthole, I don't really let too many people in, you know what I'm saying? It's one way.
Hey.
One way exit there.
That's one of my favorites, dude.
I thought so. Do you want to take it over and talk about it? Because I only seen it once, and it was the year it came out, or the year after it came out?
I used to have this on film. So basically, you got Lil Bow Wow in his prime. You got Jonathan Lipnicki coming together with an all-star. No, I'm just kidding. with a decent cast.
Oh yeah, you got to mention the Jordan cameo in the first 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So basically, Jordan's over here trying to, I think, in some whole, Shia LaBeouf holes ass type plot, like a sports star leaves some memorabilia behind, and then he just so happens to get the shoe. Oh no, Jordan. Apparently he threw a pair of shoes up on like how back in the hood they used to throw shoes up on the power lines. So a pair of Jordan shoes, this kid's able to get them joints after I think getting his regular shoes. He got stolen. So he's got these raggedy ass pair of shoes, but they belong to Michael Jordan. So they somehow magically give him the gift of Michael Jordan's talent without having to like, you know, steal it like some bad guys from a Looney Tunes film.
Yep.
You know, Space Jam. But long story short, he meets this other kid who's kind of like, you know, his friend. He's like, hey, we're gonna, you know, go up together. We on now. And so he somehow gets a tryout for whatever this bullshit. What is the? Show me the jersey. What's the bullshit name of their team? The Circuits or something like that. It's some,
yeah.
Oh my gosh! And it's got him, Brian Beckman, as the bad guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But,
did you know there was a sequel?
Yes, and I have not seen that shit, bro.
And it came out the same year or something? Because it says 2002 as well. And I'm like, what? No.
They did a Like Mike 2 in the same year? I did not realize that. Wow.
I don't know. I
That
mean,
is
hey,
crazy.
guys, if you're just looking for the DVD, don't get the 2-movie combo. You usually get shitty movie with... And you know it's a shitty movie?
Does it
When-
double up like that?
Yeah. Because they're trying to get rid of it. But you know it's a shitty movie, too, when you see this white boy with dreadlocks. Or, no, cornrows. Sorry, not dreadlocks. Cornrows.
At least you corrected. You knew it.
I know. Those white people
Oh
got to
my
get it
gosh,
right.
I used to watch that all the time. He had the little music video at the end where he was doing the...
Bow wow
Yes.
wow yippee yo yippee. Is it that one?
Yeah, no, it's the one where we're playing basketball.
Oh,
yeah,
we're
my
playing
favorite. Yeah, you
Basket.
remember.
Oh.
Basketball
kinda-
is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court.
It's almost as obscure as Aaron Carter's house party song. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Na 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 na.
I wouldn't say it's
na, na,
obscure.
na,
Like,
na. I mean, it's forgettable. You gotta remember.
oh come on, you think that song's forgettable? Man,
Yo,
he
I heard it
sampled
hard.
he sampled an old song, man. The playing basketball, it's an old sample.
It's like one of those ones you forget though, but then when you hear it, like, oh, I remember all the words.
Of course, bro. Don't even dub. Don't even sit there and play on Bow Wow's name like that, man.
Oh, Bow Wow's name.
Put some
Double Team.
respect on Bow Wow's name.
I mean, do you want to talk about? I want to talk about NBA games. So the first sports
Nope.
game I ever bought. Nope.
Nope. Haha.
What do you mean?
We're talking about movie cameos. You gotta
No.
lock it in.
You don't want to talk
Uh-huh.
about NBA video games?
Nope. Saving that for another podcast. You lose.
All right, fine. What
Yeah,
about the
save it.
Space Jam sequel?
There you go. Now we're talking. Space Jam, New Legacy. Get ready for spoilers because I'm so ready to talk about this. My dad rented out a movie theater for me and our family, like a suite, like the little showing room.
Your dad
200
rented out a movie theater.
Yeah. Well, not like the whole theater, but just like a showing of like you know. I
Okay.
can't remember how much he said he had to pay, but basically it was like a fair coin. And yeah, we just got to go in there and be as loud as we wanted and watch it like we was at home. His feet up on the seats and everything was fucking
Was this
awesome.
Cinetopia?
It was the one at Clackamas Town Center,
Oh.
the theater over there at the mall.
Okay.
It's really nice.
Okay. I know what you're talking about now. I've been there in a
I think
while.
it's
I
the
don't think I've
Regals.
ever seen. I think I've seen a movie there once or twice.
It's gotten better
Yeah.
over the years. Yeah.
Oh,
But
nice.
man, they had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie. You know, they tried to set the stakes pretty quick. You know, the stakes can never be higher for LeBron. You know, his kids hate him. You know, that's a good place to start. How does that always happen to, you know, black fathers trying to be successful sports stars? Ask Michael Jordan, because his kids were acting the same way in the beginning of the movie as well. Pretty ungrateful, pretty, you know, but they still love their dad, you know, but
I'm seeing copycat syndrome here.
there
the
definitely
movie.
was a bit of copycat syndrome. The thing that you definitely could give them credit for is by, you know, copy and pasting things. Some of the things they copy and pasted well. I think the way that they, you know, explain him getting to Toon World was a little bit better instead of just like getting sucked into a hole, which is a great sight gag and it makes sense in Looney Tunes still.
Yep.
But I like the fresh take on it this time. It was more of a digital thing, which was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, brother?
I think the major selling point that really pulled audiences into the film were the cameos.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, when I first heard about the movie being made a couple years before that,
Yeah.
maybe even 5 years before that, I was like, no way, nobody's gonna want to see LeBron James in this movie. And I was like, holy shit, it actually is happening when I saw the trailer. The cameos are what I was there for the movie for. I was really hoping to like the movie, but I was like, I want to see the mask. I want to see the pick. I want to see whoever was in there. Anything Warner Brothers owns, they put something in that suit, and they cut so many things out. Like the mask was supposed to be the referee at one point. There was the witch from the Wizard of Oz, some other stuff.
So to
Oh,
give people
jeez.
some sort of like background, if you haven't watched Space Jam: The New Legacy, feel free if you don't care for spoilers to just cut it off now.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it, but
It's a good watch through the first time. I mean, just to see the cameos and see how it ends out. The storyline, not bad. There's
Yeah,
just
not
something
bad.
about it that maybe it's a generational thing.
I think that's probably the gist of it. But long story short,
It's not our Space Jam.
it's not our Space Jam. You know, LeBron James and his son get sucked digitally into a Toon verse, which happens to be a part of an even bigger, what they call server verse of WB properties like Harry Potter and other movies.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So at one point, the movie culminates into a big basketball match, which how could it not? Where literally every character in their IP is there. You know, you've got like all the Looney Tunes in almost an updated style.
Yeah.
Not bad. I liked it. It wasn't bad. And then you've got like Anthony, like Acard, excuse me, was saying. Well, who cares? Anthony Acard, you fucking. If you look on him on Instagram, if you follow him on social medias, you'll know who he is. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, then that's your problem, and you should think about it.
Think about it. Think about it.
But yeah, long story short, I'm gonna get off my soapbox here. They had to do things in a new way to try and interest new crowds in this older IP, which I kind of like that they tried to build this
Easy.
whole Marvel thing, which is all right. I kind of like that, like his son, when they were playing basketball, had like digital power ups and stuff. That was kind of cool, just because I'm a gamer, kind of tugged at me a little
Yeah.
bit. As a black person, I kind of like the interdimensional, like relational aspects of him trying to work through things with his kids while also dealing with, you know, possibly losing everything to Don Cheadle's Al G Rhythm character.
Parasols.
Mr. Cheadle.
Mr. Cheadle! Mr. Cheadle, your parasols! You left your parasols! Yeah, that's a classic.
Classic.
Huh. But yeah, what about some other sports figures? You were talking about WWE off camera.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan's the only one I can think of
Really?
growing up. Beverly
Andre
Hills
the
Ninja,
Giant.
whatever it was. Oh yeah, Princess Bride.
And then you've got Chris Jericho's had a couple movies. You've got John Cena in the
Everything.
Suicide Squad, 12 Rounds. I think The Miz from like Challenge and WWE lore was in like,
Roddy
the
Piper.
Marine. You got Roddy Piper. There's so many
Hell Comes to Frogtown or They Live, John Carpenter film. I love it. Love both of them actually.
So
They're
you
both
get it, man.
weird
Back in
Roddy
the 80s and
films.
90s, people was just all about those cameos. People were
Mhm.
really serious about getting, because besides movie stars, there weren't really a whole lot of you know, people like that. I mean, you
Who's
had
You had what?
I want to say the Smoking Gun series with Leslie Nielsen had O.J. Simpson in it.
Oh, you mean Naked Gun?
Naked Gun. Naked Gun.
I think Smoking Gun. That sounds like a series from the '60s. I think it is.
I think it's the Perry, the one.
Who was the guy, that wrestler with the rubber bands in his beard? He played the dad of Cyndi Lauper in her music videos.
I'm not too sure.
It was weird.
Ooh.
I forgot his name. If anybody remembers his name, I mean, I could look it up, but I'm too lazy to look it up right now. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of sports stars. I think it started with wrestling first. Wrestling stars and some basketball stars started in the 70s because you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played this tall. I mean, he's already tall, but he played this guy
Hold on, real
against
quick, wait.
Bruce Lee in House of the Dragon or something like that.
I'm gonna put this on you, and then I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. House of the Dragon, Bruce Lee. He's like I mean, he has to fight Chuck Norris, or Chuck Norris is with him. I don't know a lot about Bruce Lee movies, but I know he fought a blind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'll be right back as well.
And now, I'm back.
And I got a tidbit for you. Now, we
Okay.
mentioned Roddy Piper. My girl Emily, her aunt dated him back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, your girlfriend's aunt dated Roddy Piper,
There you
wrestling fame, kilt wearing. What was it? What was his
Inspirational.
saying in the thing? He'd say, "Who said y'all? I'll tear down this wall." That guy.
go. Yeah.
Okay, how did that happen?
I know. I'll have to ask her more about it. She just mentioned it when I stepped out of the room. She was like, "Did y'all say Roddy Piper?" She was like, "My aunt dated him." I was like, "Oh, I forgot you told me that before."
You need to get more info on that. I would love to hear it. Rest in peace, Roddy, by the way. The last thing he did was a short film called Portal to Hell on YouTube, 12-minute short, where he's like a tenant. Not a tenant. He's a tenant. He's a crusty old superintendent. Has a lot of time on his hands when cultists use his basement to open a portal to the watery tomb of a slumbering god.
Oh wow.
It's a fucked up. You need to watch it.
Sounds
Just type in
crazy.
Portal to Hell 2015 Roddy Piper on YouTube. You will not regret it. He did have some drug stuff going on back then, but he really came back with a punch in that film. Oh my god. I wish he was alive.
Oh, that was really heartfelt, man.
he that was probably 3 great movies he was in. Was They Live, Hell Comes to Frogtown, which is a weird movie, and then Portal to Hell. It's like a trilogy of awesomeness.
Now, the Hulk Hogan one that you were gonna say, as far as his film appearance, which one were you gonna reference?
Let me see real quick. Hulk Hogan films. He's looked great. I mean, he's older now, but I'm glad that he's kept up the persona for so long. Movies.
I
Well,
liked
you
him
had
in Three Ninjas.
you had Three Ninjas. What was it? Three Ninjas, Suburban Commando. What other movies was it? I think it was just Three Ninjas, Suburban Commando. What did I say? Beverly Hills? Did I say Beverly Hills Ninja? That's Chris Farley. Oh my god.
I was gonna say, wait, what? Oh wow.
Oh, there was Santa with Muscles in 1996. He has a small cameo in Gremlins 2. He's in Little
Oh, shit, I
Hercules. There's a documentary from 2014 called Sheik, if you know the Iron Sheik. I think he played in the Clash videos. McKinsey's Island from 98. Oh! He played in Thunder in Paradise, a 1994 game. What system was it for? It was like, not Sega Genesis. Screenplays by Tom Green, but not the Tom Green. You know, my bum is in your face. My bum is in your... Not that Tom Green. What was it? It was for a gaming system. Eh.
I don't know. I don't really remember.
It was one that used the digital disc type of thing, and it was horrible. But it was like a choose your own, like, what do you want to do this? And it would use real imagery, and you could aim it. Kind of like Star Wars Assault 2 for the PlayStation 1. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like real imagery. And it looks like you're really controlling real people. It's like that. Weird. That's the only movies I can really think of.
That's fair. That's fair. But no, I definitely had to bring up Andre the Giant. You know, love that movie, and I loved his character in that movie as well. I mean, I saw 12 rounds, for John Cena, like really getting his toes wet and getting out there and doing that shit. I'll applaud him for that. I thought that was pretty good. I think Randy Orton copied The Miz, or not copied The Miz, but like was the guy that did the Marine 2. Unless I'm getting that confused, and The Miz was Marine 2, and the Marine was John Cena.
Yeah, the Marine was John Cena. Come on, you can't talk about sports without talking about
the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. No?
Ooh. I was talking about
our
The Rock. Do we even need to? I was talking about for the Blazers.
No, you don't want to touch that one.
Oh God, I'm like over The Rock. He's in everything, and then everybody's giving him hell for the Black Adam movie coming out.
Well, I had to bring that up. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't give you spoilers on this one. But
I mean,
you
gotta
had to bring that up.
The first time we saw him in film was his digital cameo in The Mummy 2 with Brendan Fraser, great actor, making a comeback.
The
Amen.
King came out first, didn't it?
Nope. Scorpion King came out after, like a couple years later, to follow up more about who
try to
Scorpion King
give
was.
the lore and shit. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, on YouTube you can look up because the CGI was horrible for the Mummy 2 when you look back at it now. It's like 20 years ago, but was it 2001 or 2002? I forgot. But there's this company on YouTube that redigitizes and enhances computer imaging for movies, and that was one of them. So you can look that up on YouTube.
It's the one I'm always telling you about, Corridor Digital. I watch them religiously.
Yes, Corridor. I've subscribed to them a couple years ago.
Did you finally?
Like 3 years ago, but I guess I don't remember you mentioning that because maybe I didn't know you were talking about it. I wasn't making the connection.
Probably. I just mentioned it a couple episodes.
They do a great job.
Projects.
They did one for Luke Skywalker and
so you like the
Rise of Skywalker, and then they did it for the new Star Wars Mandalorian season 2 when Skywalker comes up there. But yeah, they do a great job at Corridor. Why don't they have a job like that? Why aren't they Hollywood hiring them?
Because
maybe they did now. I don't know. Yes, Harry. William Dafoe, the Green Goblin.
So yeah, you wanted to talk about the Blazers or something?
Our hero of the Trailblazers right now. Okay. That's my parents. It's time for dinner.
Okay, we can start wrapping up here soon.
Who's the guy in the Trailblazers again?
You talking about Damian Lillard?
Damian Lillard. He's really popular actually in NBA. Very popular. I'm surprised they not having him for brand. I mean, he's branding stuff, but I'm surprised he's not in any movies or anything. Or anything.
I mean, I don't know. He did like a little rap song there at one point, and
I forgot about that.
Or maybe he did. Was it just a song, or maybe he did an album? I can't remember. I mean, I know he was doing his thing. I mean, I'm sure there's probably a level of like fame where it becomes hard to balance that kind of shit all the time.
I mean, he's a really great leader for the Blazers. I mean, he's really carried them. I mean, I just hope he's sharing the ball on the court. Because I don't watch the game all the time, but
apparently they're killing it right now. I believe at this current point they're like 4-0, maybe 5-0.
He really takes away from being. Michael Jordan was definitely somebody he looked up to, obviously, but really takes away from that and gets rid of the negatives and puts in the positive from what he learns.
Mm-hmm. Did you realize that Terry Crews used to be a footballer who does acting now?
I think I heard about that somewhere. Forgot.
Yes, I can't remember the team he used to play for, but yeah. Yes, sir.
And rest in peace, Don King. Don King's not around anymore, right?
I would probably Google that first before giving a rest in peace shout out.
Oh my gosh! He's still around!